Cedar Point, day 3, everybody. Here's proof of Cedar Point right there. There you go. So, chips. Theme of the day. We just finished up night 3 of Cedar Point for our second trip to Cedar Point this summer. And it was quite the eventful day, actually.
So it's our 3rd day on this trip, but it's our 6th this year. Our 6th day.
This morning we made it to the park a lot sooner than yesterday. We were the very first car lined up at the gate, and so we got in right at 8:30, and we waited in line, and then we decided to skip the Steel of Vengeance today. Oh, we didn't skip the Steel of Vengeance. Steel of Vengeance didn't open until 10 today. And so we went straight to the Maverick, and we were like 5th family in line or something like that. So we got pretty good spot in line. Luckily we got to do the first car. They tried to put us in the second car. They were like, did the guy tell you could go in this car?
It was good because the Maverick actually opened up early. So the past 2 mornings it hasn't opened up until like 10:15. And they like started letting people ride around like 9:20 or so probably.
Or even earlier maybe.
And so just like yesterday we got on the first car and we were, well really, we got on the first row but we were on the 3rd car that left with the second trip or whatever. And we got to go on the first row. And when we got off of the ride, since it was only like 9:30 or so, the line still didn't look like too bad.
And they weren't doing Fast Pass yet. And
the Fast Pass didn't start till 10 when the park actually opened.
The general public couldn't come yet either.
Yeah, so we got back in line and were able to do it again. And this time we got done about 9:50 or so. We also got to go in the front row again, which was awesome. And again, the line wasn't like super long yet. And they still weren't letting Fast Pass people in just yet.
But the Fast Pass line was getting pretty long.
So we got in line again. This time we had to wait a little bit longer. And they did start letting Fast Pass people in as we were waiting. So it took us a little bit longer, but not too long. Not 2 hours like it usually does, or 2.5 hours like it usually does. And we were able to do the front row again. So, yeah. And
pretty lucky.
We really like that ride just because of how quick and how fast it is. And I like the tunnel part the best because you just like, it just accelerates very, very fast.
You come to like a stop in the tunnel and all of a sudden it just shoots you forward.
Yeah.
And so that part's really fun.
Yeah, so
it's very surprising for people.
After we finished the Maverick, we went to the Millennium Force because a lot of people were getting in line for the Steel Vengeance, and so we didn't want to like have to wait a really, really long time for a ride. It was pretty hot out at the park at this point. And we were able to get on the Steel Vengeance, and we did it the Millennium Force, and we did it in the back row, I believe, and the wait was probably about 40 minutes or so. And after that, we like that ride as well, just because again it's longer and it's fast. It doesn't have any flipping over or anything like that. But it does give you
really fast
tunnel vision. So this morning, the first time we went down I think you went down this first drop.
We both got crazy tunnel vision.
And I couldn't see today until after we got past the tunnel. So it's a little bit scary because it usually doesn't do it that bad to me. But I think it's because of sleep deprivation and just, I don't know. It usually doesn't bother me quite so bad. So
mine was really bad too.
Yeah, so we both just almost like not really blacking out, but you're seeing, just for me, I'm seeing light, and it's just like, it's crazy. But I like that ride just because of how long it is and how fast it is and intense it is. So we got our Panda Express after that.
I had a headache at this point too.
Then
so we were chugging water.
Yeah, so
it was hot, and like that was only like 11:30, and it was really, really hot. The real feel was like 96, and the humidity was like 60s or something. It was pretty hot today.
So since we've been talking about wanting to redo Valveron, however you say it, which is a pretty new coaster. It's been here for like 5 years now, probably. We've been wanting to do it, so we walked by it to see what the wait time was, and it said like an hour and 45 minutes, and so we kind of passed on that one. And we saw that the Raptor wasn't super duper long, so we were going to do the Raptor, but first I had to go look for these fast passes that Kate and I both received from our first trip for being at Cedar Point when we couldn't do the Maverick at park closing, so they gave us these vouchers that we could use in the future. And so since this is our last night at the park, we wanted to be able to use them tonight. And so I looked in the car for like 30 minutes and could only find one of them. And so we went to guest relations, and they were nice enough to give us another voucher since we lost it or misplaced it or whatever. And so we were planning on using that voucher tonight, but we did not use it because of something I'll tell you in a little bit. But then we did the Raptor because it wasn't super long. We did that 3 times in a row. The first 2 times we got to do the front row, which is my favorite, and Kate and I love to see who gets to ride with who. Well, the first time it was just Kate and I, so we both did opposite ends because we like the end of the car best. And again, I like to extend my legs out because it makes it like, I don't know, I like the way it feels, and it's, I don't know, it's just very free feeling and a little bit of a workout too. But it does 6 different, it flips you over 6 different times, and we both had fun with that. And the line wasn't very long, so then we got in line again, and we got the front row again, but this time we had to ride with other people.
I was nice and let James have the outside because it's his favorite ride and he likes riding on the outside.
So I gave Kate the option of riding. I would ride on the inside next to the person, or I'd ride on the outside. And since Kate saw what the person looked like and she wasn't sure what the person next time would look like, she decided to give me the outside, and she rode next to this person.
Because the next time could have been way worse.
This person kind of had some hairy arms, and Kate loves riding with people.
I kept my arm down like
that has some hairy arms, and so
I kept my arm down to the side.
She didn't want to rub arms with him
because your hands are all on the thing together. Yeah.
So that was the time.
I kept my arm down.
So that was probably Kate's favorite ride today.
Yep.
That time, and again it was fun. And then we got in line again, and
we did the back row.
This time, like the front row, each time was like really crowded because everyone wants to do the front row. So we got in the last row. This time I took the inside spot and got to rub arms with someone with hairy arms, but he was a younger person, so I got lucky that it wasn't someone else, which is kind of mean, I guess, but it's just kind of random with who you get. There's definitely some interesting people at amusement parks, so luckily, I guess we got lucky as far as that's concerned. But we were in the last row. When you're in the last row, you definitely can't extend your legs, because if you do, you'll probably break your leg, or I don't know what would happen. Probably wouldn't feel good though. And I definitely didn't like it nearly as much, so I definitely prefer the front row. So after we got off the ride, it started to sprinkle and it started to rain on us.
A nice light drizzle that we played in.
And the rain felt really, really good. We just kind of played in it. It wasn't raining like super hard, and it felt really warm, the water did, and so it was kind of fun to play in.
It was perfect.
It also cooled off the weather a little bit because it was really hot. So
then we did the valve run.
Then we went back to the valve run. It said it was only a 45-minute wait, but it was really probably like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. I don't know for sure. We learned our lesson on not speaking up and saying we were a group of 2, because they asked for a group of 2 and we were kind of quiet, and then the group of 2 got to go ride in the front row, which
that would have been us.
What I was preferring to do.
So we should have done it. You don't get to pick your row.
But then we ended up getting to do the last row, which wasn't terrible, I guess, because it's a little bit elevated, so you can still kind of see what's happening. Drops,
especially if you're on the ends, like we kind of were.
Yeah, so I was kind of towards the middle, and The ride was definitely very smooth. We haven't went on the ride for a few years now. But the ride was very smooth. It reminded me a lot of the rides we did in Carowinds, where it's just very smooth. It's does some pretty crazy inverted drops and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. Some people really love this ride. I thought it was okay. To me, it's kind of short and it's too smooth for me. I like it a little bit more rough, I guess. So Kate can give you your thoughts on that. She's not really talking a lot. I guess I'm dominating.
I liked that one. It was definitely smooth, and my favorite part of that one was just like that I could, since the floor dropped out from you kind of, and so you could see in between the trains in front, and so you could still see the drops, which was cool. So even though we were in the back, there's only 3 rows. And so we were in the back, but you could still see the drops because it had pretty steep drops, which was like my favorite part of it. But definitely not in my top 5, but it was still a good ride. I wouldn't wait 2 hours for it. But what did we do after that? Did it start raining?
So after that ride, Kate and I were going to go to the Steel Vengeance again.
Millennium Force.
Millennium Force. I'm so bad with my names. And as we were walking that way, we found our little spot where you can try to win a VIP pass, and you kind of like scan your phone and take a picture, and it leads you to this website, and you fill out your information. So Kate did hers and had no success. I did mine the first time, and I was a winner for a VIP pass. So I was like, what? I didn't know you could even be a VIP winner, because it seems like you never win.
Sorry, you're not a winner. But
yeah,
he
so
was a winner.
The VIP pass included 4 fast pass tickets to any ride in the park, even Steel Vengeance, which is really cool. You get 4 wristbands, which get you into these little VIP lounges, which there's
TVs
3 of them in the park, and they give you, like, I guess, a better view of this parade at night, and gets you some shade. There's TVs and couches, and there's a private little stand where you get 3 snacks throughout the day and 3 drinks throughout the day.
It can be alcohol. They had certain alcohol ones, and then they also had water. So we chose water.
Yeah, so we chose water, and then we got sun chips for our snack. But you could have got some chips or a little granola bar, like a chewy granola bar, or some little tiny chocolate chip cookies. So to me, the best option was the sun chips. And so they only had the cheddar kind and the normal kind. I wish they had the French onion kind, but they didn't.
Right after James won, it started pouring rain. So we sprinted to the Panda Express to go eat in the rain. And so we ate a little bit earlier tonight, and so we raced over there and we're eating in the rain, and I went ahead and did my thing, and then
there's like several different spots. There's 5 different spots in the park where you can try to win VIP passes.
I won then, and so I got my VIP one, and so then I got my wristband so I could get snacks, and then I also got my fast passes, and so we each had our 4 fast passes that we could use on any ride. So that was pretty awesome. Which would have been amazing, especially if it was a day that it wasn't raining out. So it was pouring then, and it rained until what, like 5:30? We left after we ate, and we started walking to the Millennium Force or the dragster. We started walking to, like, the dragster? The Magnum. I don't know. We started walking to another ride, and it started downpouring on us again, because it had stopped for a little bit.
Yeah, we started walking towards the Magnum, and then it started downpouring on us.
Pouring.
And so
we both hid in the bathrooms.
We both had to start sprinting. And yeah, we both made it to a bathroom. And we both had to stay in our bathroom until the rain stopped. There were people just waiting in line and getting drenched and soaked on, and they weren't moving. I'm just like, you have more dedication than I do right now.
Yeah.
So we had to wait that out for about 15 minutes or so.
And then we got in line for the dragster?
No, so then we got in line for the Millennium Force again. And we
We were gonna use our fast pass.
We were gonna use one of our fast passes because we thought like just one of them would be for both of us, but it was that you had to each give one of your tickets. And so since it wasn't dark out and it wasn't like our top ride, I mean it's one of our top rides, we decided not to do it.
And the line was pretty short, so we did the regular line.
So we did the regular line. We got into the second to last row because we were kind of in a hurry to make sure that we had time to use our flash passes that we had won today. And so,
because it was already like 6 o'clock by this time,
we did that ride. I felt like I blacked out a little bit again, which probably just means I'm very sleep deprived and tired. But we did that, and I thought it was fun. And after we did that ride, we were
got in line for the dragster.
Yeah, so we decided to try to use one of our flash passes for the dragster, and the line was kind of long for the flash pass. It was probably a good 30 or 40 minute line. And as we were waiting in line, it says that the ride's going to close because of
inclement weather,
some more weather conditions. And so we're like, okay, let's not wait on that.
Let's go get our snacks.
Go try to get our snacks. And so as we
take
leave,
them to the car.
We're starting to try to find the snack location, and it starts pouring again.
Like this time, downpour. Like this time it was like pouring.
It's like a monsoon.
Yeah.
So we did find this other location of a VIP lounge
near the ocean, or not the ocean, near Lake Erie and the gatekeeper and stuff. So kind of in the kid area.
So we found the thing, and then we were trying to get our snacks, and it was downpouring on us. So we ended up getting, since we each won the passes or whatever, we had 4 wristbands each, which then would give you 8 total wristbands. And if you do 8 times 3, we got 24 bags of Sun Chips and 24 waters. So
our car is full.
Yeah, we now have lots of Sun Chips and lots of water. And our car is already full, so yeah, we get to play more Tetris and try to fit everything in our car.
So then we like helped move all the furniture like into the tent and stuff because all the furniture was getting soaked, and so we were like pushing the couches and stuff like into the tent more because it was this time like they were strapping the TVs down. It was windy, like it was pouring rain, like monsoon level rains, and then there was thundering. And I guess at one tent, they made the VIPs go run to the bathrooms, and so they had to leave the tent and go to the bathrooms. And they told us that we might have to do that if it started lightning, and then they never ended up evacuating us from our spot. So we got to stay there the whole time, luckily, and just watch and enjoy the storm from underneath the tarps. So we were in a safe, comfy area.
Then got to leave the park with all that water and all the Sun Chips, so it looked like we were robbing like some store.
We had so much stuff.
Yeah, and we were using trash bags to carry all our water, and
we looked crazy carrying that through.
Yeah. So. And
like the parking lot was flooded. Like there were spots where like the water was like pretty high up on some of the cars, and there were just giant puddles in the park where like the drainage isn't the best, and like kids were like laying down in the puddles and like playing, and there was a lot of water. I mean, my socks and stuff were drenched because there were spots where you would step in the puddle and the puddle was like way deeper than your feet, and so yeah, we got pretty wet.
So after that we went back in the park. It was I think as we were starting to get back on rides, it was about 8:15 or something p.m. And so we had about an hour and
30 minutes.
45 minutes left of the park. And so we still at this point, the Steel Vengeance has been down almost all day. And so we would have went to that one first because it's one of our favorite rides. We usually
just do that. We were planning on just doing that all evening.
So instead of that, we went to the Top Thrill Dragster again because a lot of times it's closed. And we got in that ride the first time in about 25 minutes or so. And we were in the very back row.
We didn't want to wait for the front row because we were kind of in a hurry
Yeah, we were in a hurry. It was pretty fun. I really like that ride because it goes so fast, from 0 to 120 miles an hour. And like the whole ride is less than 7 seconds. So yeah, it's pretty intense and makes my eyes like water every time I do it, and it's just like definitely an adrenaline rush. So you can feel the air like move your cheeks and all this kind of stuff. It's intense, but we were able to actually do that ride twice. The worker, we're going to use one of our flash passes, but the worker wasn't even paying attention, so we didn't actually have to use it, so we got to keep on to that one. And so we did it twice, and he took it the second time, but the first time he didn't. The second time we did it in the second to last row. Definitely fun still. You could kind of see the sunset as we were going up the top and get a huge view.
I didn't do very good paying attention to the ride, because I was like, we're up at the top of the ride, and in the split second you're up at the top, I looked over and I saw the train of the Steel Vengeance was at the top of the mountain. And so then that's all my brain could focus on. And so I still loved the ride. I just got a little bit distracted, which happens a lot. And so as soon as we got off the ride, I was like, James, I think Steel Vengeance is open. So I pulled open the app and it said it was open. There was an hour wait. So I was like, we got to go. And so we sprinted the whole way to Steel Vengeance, which is a decent ways. My legs were tired.
Yeah, it was a good half a mile run, and we sprinted as fast as we could. We showed our little flash passes, got in line, got in line, got
through the metal detectors.
Through it. Then the ride broke down again, and we waited about 15 minutes for it to get set up again.
And this was we got in line at like 9:15.
Yeah,
so
the park
closed at 10.
9:15. We were hoping to, who knows, maybe ride it 3 times, but definitely 2 times is our goal. Well, the ride was delayed for about 20 minutes, and so then we're like, are we gonna get to ride again? Probably might be our last time. So we luckily got on a train where they were asking like how many people or whatever, they asking for a group of 2. This time I learned my lesson and was just like, okay, we're a group of 2.
Well, and we were trying to hurry because we wanted back on, and so I didn't even hear them calling for that, and James apparently said, come on Kate, let's go, and I didn't hear that either. And so, and I had nothing to distract me because we don't have our phones in line. And so I like look over and he's like cutting in line, and I was like, what is he doing? And this guy was moving aside for me to move, and I was like, what? And then I kind of realized that they had like called for a group of 2, so then I went and followed James to the crowd, but he almost went and rode without me.
And we got the
11th row.
Second to last row.
Which is a good one too.
Which is good because you're at the end of the train, which we prefer. And it was another fun ride. Halfway through the ride,
or towards the very end, one of the very last
we
inversions,
felt this wet stuff. It touched my hand and part of my face. It was disgusting.
Nailed me in the face.
It felt like puke or something. So I tried to just continue to enjoy the ride and kind of ignore it. But at the end, I was like halfway looking at my hands to see if I had chunks of puke on it or something. Luckily, there was no puke, so I don't know if it was water or what it was.
The guy behind us thought he got hit by something hard in the chest, and someone else thought they saw a hat go flying, which you're not supposed to have your hats on the ride. You're supposed to put those in the locker. They're really strict. You're not allowed to have anything. So we're not really sure what this liquid was that hit us and what the thing was that hit the person right behind me. And so we still had an amazing time. It was just really weird, this strange substance, because my face wasn't like wet, but it was like it felt wet when it hit us, but my face wasn't actually wet, so I don't know. So we jumped off the ride and we sprinted back to the entrance, and the worker let us go back in, and it turns out it was like 9:56 or so when we got back in line, maybe 9:55.
So we're lucky they didn't like close the ride early. They do that on the Maverick where they close the ride early at like 9 or something.
Yeah,
and so luckily we were able to get on again. We got to ride it again. This time
they let us go
This time we got to go in the back row, which is one of our favorite spots on the ride, or probably our favorite spot.
It's so much fun. There's a few spots where it like throws you to the side, and it's really crazy because you're just like, the turn is going one way, and then all of a sudden it like slams you to the left, and you like slam your shoulders into the left. Which is maybe why my left arm is a little bit more sore. But we were in that same area where we hit the water, and I hit something on my hands, and so I don't know if it's like a giant like spot like full of gnats, or like I don't know what it is, because my hand hit something again that felt the same like liquidy, like I don't know, it was weird. So there's something in that area that I hit again, but not full in the face this time. And then
then our night was basically over, so we walked back. Here we are. We had to find spots in our car to put all our chips and all our water. Yeah, definitely weren't expecting today to get the VIP thing, but
no, and I wish we had gotten it before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but
yeah, we got it kind of late in the afternoon, so.
And we can, yeah, so that was pretty exciting, especially that we both won it. So
we were just really happy that we still were able to do most, like every ride today, like at least 2 times, which is our main ride, so that was good. And the wait times weren't quite as bad as they were in the past, but they were still pretty bad. And then we got kind of lucky by getting those fast passes.
And it's cool because you get lanyards and they say VIP 150 years, and then we also got buttons. It says VIP experience, and then the other button says Cedar Point. So that's pretty cool. They got some fun buttons. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy, eventful day with monsoons and heat and VIP winning and snacks, and the day was unlike any other Cedar Point day I've probably ever done, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, it was a very eventful third day, much more eventful than we planned. So we hope you make it out here to Cedar Point sometime. You gotta check it out. And if you are not a roller coaster person, there are tons of kid rides. There's tons of like the spinny rides, there's carousels, there's antique cars, there's fair type rides. So there's definitely rides that you would still enjoy if you are not a roller coaster person. So definitely don't let being,
go to restaurants.
Yeah, there's restaurants, there's food, there's bars, there's barbecues, sports bars.
Talk to people in line all day. And
there's a giant arcade. There's a huge arcade, and so
you can actually go on the beach area as well.
Yeah, you can go to the beach area and play in the water. There's a water park attached to it. If you have both passes or passes for both of those. So yeah, there's so much to do here. If you're not a roller coaster person, you can still have a lot of fun. So
also win prizes and do all kinds
of prizes. Yeah, there's like the fair type midway games and stuff. So tons of stuff to do here. Check out Cedar Point if you have not already. If you have, let us know in the comments that you have been there and what was your favorite ride. What do you think of it? And thanks for joining us on day 3 of our adventure. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.